Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mountain Goat Gaming. It's a pretty special episode because I think it's been over a year since it's just been Sean and myself doing an episode. But we wanted to do this without the Victorians, mainly because this is a Queensland event, baby. And correct me if I'm wrong, this
We
is like probably the first big one for the what do we call it? The ladder.
Yeah, the first. So this is still the first tournament we had in Queensland was a 100-point event. This is also a 100-point event, but that first event was catered towards like everyone relearning the rules. So there was extra time given in each round. It was 600 points, so a lot smaller, and you were encouraged to, just have a bit more fun and to like read rules when need be. There was a point where in my first game, me and Ian were squatting under a table with our rule book open, trying to remember or like trying to figure out what like barges and stuff do and like dirty stuff you can do with that, which
gross.
you know all about.
Yeah. So the Queenslanders have had their time. They've worked it through. They've got the rules. They've been listening to Mountain Goat Gaming. And my God, I should have taken something a bit better, but
me too.
Here we are.
But this is what we're doing this year, Jay.
I know. I'm staying true to it.
We're doing it. We're taking not the greatest list to tournament, and we're attempting to do incredibly well with it.
God,
I want to set a goal for this tournament. For me, anyway, I've already set this goal, but I want to put it out to the universe. This is a 3-game, 800-point tournament. I can't remember how long each round is. I want to go 2-1. I am running Usurpers of Edoras. That is my goal. If I can achieve that, I will be ecstatic. I went 3-2 with them at CanCon, and people said you'll be lucky to win 2 games with them. I won 3.
Ooh.
So
I love a good challenge, man. I respect that.
I'd
be happy. I'd be happy just to play at this rate.
I haven't
had a game in a few weeks.
Fuck off! No, sir. Set something proper.
If I can win 2 games with this list, I'll be happy. Please don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and hit the bell button for notification when we post a video. More importantly, head over to Bard's Table and ozwargaming.com, where he's still running a 40% discount in total when using code GOATS, capital letters, and every order purchased through Bard's Table with code GOATS, you're going to be sent a free Hill Troll. So all those Khan Doom fans out there, something free, get onto it.
It's sexy.
It's so good.
All links for that will be in the description below, with the code for each group as well. I think if you just do capital GOATS on either website, you'll get your discount code.
If you don't know how to spell goat, fucking go to school and do better. Now,
I'm sorry.
This video here will be a little bit different. Sean and I are wanting to try something new, specifically in rather than just sitting here and reading, list after list and kind of doing it like a podcast. We're going to be trying something a bit different. I won't go spoil it ahead right now, but watch the whole video through, and any feedback would be greatly appreciated. Also, even better if you could hit me up on Discord in person so I can hear and to talk through your thoughts on how to make our videos better. On that note, let's get into our first list.
Down below.
Yeah, all right, Sean, take it away, man.
I think this is Aaron. All right, so classic 800 points Gobbo Town. Goblin King, Goblin Scribe, Greener, 3 Goblin Captains, and as many Goblin Warriors as you want, 5 of them with 2-handed weapon. There's not much to say, really, is there, Jay? Apart from I've got a boatload of goblins. I'm going to push them forward, wrap and trap. Hopefully, roll a few 6s along the way.
Yep.
And good luck killing the Goblin King, who potentially has 2, 4, 6, 8 plus his might. Nigh on endless might on the Goblin King.
It is hard, but it's also just one king to rule them all in a subpar, role, I feel. And Goblin Town really caps out now, I think, at 600 points. talking to Aaron, he was wanting to run Army of Lake Town with a couple of dwarves and Tariel involved. I just don't think he could get it painted up in time. Yeah. So he's just kind of gone in, taken something that's painted and don't have to put the stress on the hobby table. So I respect it. And yeah, Aaron's got some experience with this. So good luck, my man. Moving on to Men of the West, we've got King Elisar, Legolas, Gimli, and Quahir. We've got a smattering of both like tin cans and Rohan warriors here. Basically, you're going to have a front line of tin cans backed up by throwing spears. So 30 models in total. You're looking roughly, I would say, on the lower side at 800 points. Me personally, I like to be hitting around that 38 plus model mark. However, you've got some big hitters in here. You've got you, Elisar. You've got your Gwai here. Gimli can be a nice tank. Unfortunately, he is nowhere near as souped up as what Legolas is, but he can definitely hold a flank in comparison to, say, like a captain role or something along those lines. So yeah, it's cool. I really like it, and this is probably one of my favorite good lists to come out of it. I think just the theme of it, Jesus Christ, to see.
Erebor reclaimed. Alrighty. Thorin, Dwalin, Philly, Killy, Bomba, Dory, Gloin, Nori, Oin, and Ori. Notably, no Troll Brute. Doesn't have Bofa and no Troll Brute. But this is going to run forward. And what's his name? Ori is in there to give all those two-handers burly within 6 of him.
Yep.
So again, this list is they're just going to try and kill. That's all you can really do with it. And then hopefully sit on objectives. 3 dwarves, especially these D8 dudes, sitting on an objective will be usually enough to deal with most things running around. So this will be solid.
The bloodlines can swap.
Yes,
there might as well.
There might shenanigans as well. So yes, that is very good. Yeah, very solid.
Yeah, let us know how Nori the Chad goes. And then we're moving on to Meta Plus, Master of Isengard. We've got Saruman with 2 Uruk-hai captains and Grima. Overall, it looks like we've got just a really decent spread of Uruk-hai warriors. We've got a couple of crossbows in here, a decent shield pike wall across the whole army. 46 models, 800 on the dot. We've spoken at length. Yeah, we've spoken at length about what we think is a peak Master of Isengard. However, does that mean it won't perform without Berserker spam? I genuinely don't think so. Let's not forget that Isengard Uruk-hai warriors have shield wall now, so those motherfuckers are now rocking D6.
How did I miss that?
Yeah, man. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm like 99% sure they have shield wall.
You keep yarning. I'm going to have a look.
Yeah, and this person's also gone for a couple of Uruk-hai scouts as well. It could just be for models. I'm not entirely sure why. Maybe it's just point fillers. But overall, it's still Uruk-hai. It's still strength 4. You've still got a couple of cheeky fight 5 boys in there as well. Like, it's not as if it doesn't have any berserkers. I would definitely like to up a few of them there, and maybe it's a different iteration moving forward from here. And you've got Grima. So let's talk about the juicy part of what Grima can do. He can move through enemy models, except he cannot be moved through by the enemy. The implications of that rule are massive.
Yes.
Grima is expending your opponent's might because he's there. He's 25 points, let's not forget. He can trap people with still being a friendly model and not revealing himself, just because you can move through their models, yet they cannot move through you. One thing I will say, and this is a chat we've had on the Discord for a little while, is the game-breaking potential that Grima has for what's considered a friendly model. And this is something to bring up with your TO. He's considered a friendly model. Does he get affected by your enemy heroic march? Will he get to move 9 inches? Or is he just moving 6 inches? These are, questions that need answering, but it's just something to be aware of if you are playing Grima. Tactically speaking, he will be one of the greatest tool pieces you can have in the game.
Yep, you need to be running him in every single list that he is available. Similar to Legolas in my mind. If you've got access to him, you run him.
Return.
All right, moving on to our next list. Here we have, I can't remember what the name of this list is called, but we have Sauron the Necromancer, running around with the Witch King of Angmar, Slayer of Men, 2 Slayers of Men, 2 Abyssal Knights, the Forsaken, and then you've got a couple of giant spiders and a few hunting spiders. Oh, my assumption would be that this is Nick Franklin. Actually, no, I don't know. Maybe it's not. This could be Aaron. That'd be wild.
No, it's not Aaron. Aaron's running something totally different. I would say it's Franklin, to be honest with you. I love the fact that this list now doesn't just have to include the ring rates. You can you can include I think Hunter Orc captains, and a couple of cheeky spiders as well.
Did you not in the I don't think you could take spiders in the previous edition. But I know you could take Castellans, and I'm pretty sure Hunter Orcs and stuff showed up in there as well if you wanted.
Really?
I believe so. It just wasn't the Legendary Legion.
Oh, okay. Well, no one played him outside the Legendary Legion.
Yeah.
Because that 3+ was just too hard. And there's been some really big changes to the Necromancer, specifically when his will reduces, his bubble starts to shrink more and more. So it starts off at 12 inches, and I think it breaks down to like 8 and then 6. So you got to be a little bit different. The Witch King, I don't think is as souped up as he could be. However, you've got double Slayer of Men and double Abyssal Knights. The double Abyssal Knights, if you know how to play those models properly, they will be horrific.
Now, are they the teleporty dudes?
Yeah, I think they're the Elven Blade ones. One thing that shocks me here is there's no shadow.
Oh, yes.
There's no lingering shadow.
He was normally the auto take, wasn't he, with his potential 6-inch bullshit?
Keep going. It's Witch King for me, and then it's the lingering shadow. Yep. So look, maybe this person really appreciates the Forsaken and the new rule set that the model has, got. I don't think it's changed that much, but yeah, it's interesting.
It'll be interesting to see how this goes. That is for sure. All right, next up.
Yeah, Rocking Defenders of Helm's Deep. Unfortunately, this list doesn't give me the heebie-jeebies like it used to. I just don't think it works as well. We'll get into that in a second. We've got Theoden with all his whiz bangs and caboodles. We've then got Strider, Haldir, and Gamling with the standard. So your typical battle line consists of, you've got a heap of elf bows, I'm assuming potentially at the back or front, or maybe off to the side. You've then got Rohan warriors everywhere. The reason, at 40 models, right, at 798 points, okay, the reason why this list doesn't hit as hard as it did in the previous edition, and I made the comment at the start, was the fact that you cannot get as many bows in as you used to. Throwing weapons. Sorry. So what used to happen is you'd sit there and you'd just take shots. Realistically, we're only looking at what? Haldir's 2 shots plus the 9. So what, 11 elf bows?
Yeah, so they're still shooting at, what is the range?
30?
30, I think it is. I can't remember how much
inches.
extra they get. Yep, an extra 6 inches. And that's only, 11 shots. Back in the day, it used to, you would max out your bows in this list, and then every other model was a throwing spear, which they don't get the 6-inch addition to their shooting range, but that doesn't matter because you're peppering them down. By the time they get to you, suddenly it's like, cool, now they're throwing weapons. But I get what you mean. It doesn't hit as hard as you want it to. Theoden has been buffed up this edition, especially with his sword. That thing is arguably the best name sword in the game, I'd say, at the moment.
Completely. I think he is the best troop muncher you can possibly get, because your troops typically, like your elite troops, are capping out at 5/5. The fact that he just auto wins those 50/50s is gangbusters. It sucks that he can't be put on a horse for this one for maximum killing potential. If you're playing this list and you're watching this review, please don't be afraid to spend your mind on confirming kills on elite warriors like your berserkers, your crazy elves, and that sort of stuff. So just something to think about.
Throw Theoden in, roll a 6 against another 5/5 model, you just win. It's incredible. Aragorn with armor, what's he, D6 with armor, Strider Aragorn, isn't he? Yeah. He has to put in a lot of work, and he doesn't have his horse.
Yeah. One of the most interesting things here is the fact that Gamling, and he is now a 6-inch banner, and he only gives might back to Rohan characters on a 6. The only other Rohan character you've got is Theoden.
Yeah. So they will be
They have to be together. By no stretch of the measure am I calling Gambling shit or unplayable. I think he's just taken a sidestep. But the roles are just been like the way this list synergizes. I think is going to take a little while. I don't know. It's clunky. It's clunky.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Ooh, baby, I like this. This is a good one. All right, Troll Team 6 is a phenomenal name. So we've got Birder, a Wild Chieftain, an Orc Captain. You've got 5 Hill Trolls, a couple of Wargs in there, a couple of Wild Riders, and then just Orcs to spam out the rest. Not a lot of models, but Birder and 5 Hill Trolls plus a Wild Chieftain.
Holy shit.
Oh, it's gonna do damage.
Yep.
And
it's
if I'm not mistaken, you go.
The chieftain, his might is only spent on the chieftain. Like he can only be affected by that. Is that limited to heroic combats?
What do you mean by that? Sorry.
Can I heroic combat with a wild chieftain and move a hill troll with the chieftain?
Yeah.
Cool. Then he fits perfectly.
I'm like 90% confident that that's the way, because his might only affects wild wargs. Now I don't think that affects warg riders. There is only 5 wild wargs in this list. But if he can just go around heroic combating, that's no problem. I'm 90% sure that the heroic combat still goes off. Now, Birder's warband, is that got ambush? That's the ambush, isn't it?
Correct. Can ambush. Can ambush. And Birder feels like a real beefy chiefy. You know, like he's nice. I think they've done a fantastic job with him, and the model is just gorgeous. So that's probably the best reason you play this.
Almost as good as the ones that you could get from Bard's Table.
All right, then we've got an absolute meta gimp. I'm going to call him
the Stinky Boy.
Stinky.
I versed this today, and it hurt me.
So, rocking Aina with his horse and lands, Glorfindel, the somewhat shit.
No, he's good.
Shush. We need to keep it going. He's Lord of the Midbright. Then we've got Círdan, and then we've got a Ranger of the North. This list is running a pretty decent shield wall. Okay, we've still got a shield wall banner, and then we've got Rivendell archers and spears. To back it up. We've got a smattering of might. We've got the 2 big heroes, Aina and Glorfindel, to pretty much solo any monster in the game. I don't care what you say, they will do that. And then, let alone the fact that Círdan helps come in and buff and fill their weaknesses when it's needed. This list got yoked. It's 38 models. You've got D7. You've got your banner. You've got 2 massive heroes that are very hard to put down unless you can do it in one hit, which is not easy because one of them's rocking a 12-inch moving horse. This list really got a lot. We could talk about it and pretty much do a whole podcast on Battle of Fornost alone. Trust me, if you're looking to go hard, have a look at how this list is built and how you can kind of replicate it. This is very similar to Kylie, who won CanCon at 850 points. She took a few more models, but the bones and structure are pretty much identical. I would say.
I do want to point out on everything you said is bang on, but that Ranger of the North with 2 Hobbit bows as a single drop warband is clutch.
Shit. So annoying.
It's frustrating as all hell because this is the kind of list, especially with like 2 big beefy heroes, that normally you go cool. They're sitting there with 3 warbands.
Yeah.
Mid-tier armies are like, I've got 4. Cool. I'm going to see where they go. All right, cool. They deploy first. Here's 2 Hobbit bows and a Ranger.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck. So this is, that warband, underrated.
I can't stress like the importance, well, not so much the importance, but like the tactical flexibility that a single drop warband can give you, especially one with a might point, such as a Ranger of the North, or potentially a Troll Bruise now.
Yeah.
And what it can do to give you, I suppose, like a bit of foresight into the game.
And ultimately, you don't care where if they're out of the game for whatever, it doesn't really matter. It's fine. This is a powerful list. Danny's going to he's going to do some
This
work with
list
it.
says, I want to win an event. Finally. Anyway.
The dude needs to. He's so deserving of winning an event, that man. Oh, Men of the West, another more Gwahirs. I need a Kirdan to deal with all these Gwahirs. All right, Aragon, King Alisar, Tin Cans, and Warriors of Rohan, Gwahir, and then Legolas with Warriors of Rohan and Tin Cans. I feel like it's a pretty stock standard.
Yeah.
Legolas is definitely the pick over Gimli, in my opinion.
Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, I think any list that you can possibly take Legolas, you take Legolas. That man alone will win you shooting wars. It doesn't matter if they've got 10 bows, he'll do it on his own. He's just phenomenal. What can I say? If you put an eagle, especially one with 3 might, into any list, you're giggling. So Men of the West finally has just stepped up multiple levels compared to last edition, where it was probably the worst list in the game if you don't count Ruffians. But yeah, very good.
I like one thing I'm just going to add about this Men of the West list. This is how I would build this list. The Warriors of Rohan are the letdown of this list.
Yeah.
The only reason you take them is to get your 3rd of throwing spears, and then from there it's just tin cans galore. I want the biggest block of D7 to stall whilst Alisar and Gwahir and Legolas have time to take off key horses, kill key characters, or block certain points, whilst my army just sits and doesn't die.
And with that, you can remove. You don't need bows in this list if you're doing it the way that you're talking there. You don't need bows apart from Legolas's bow, which means you can then spec into those throwing spears.
Yeah, true.
So yeah, absolutely. And Shield Wall this edition is so much better.
So good. I think it's just the way we always thought we wanted to play it.
Yeah, because I didn't realize until today was when you do the Shield Wall, it's at the beginning of the fight phase. So even if you push them back, or you knock them prone or whatever, they're still shield walling. It's very good, and it's how it should have been.
Sorry, Aaron, I forgot to get rid of your name here. So this is Erin, and she is the reigning champ of Queensland.
Yeah.
And she is now running Fanghorn. She's got Tree Beard with Pippin and Merry, a Chestnut and Beech Bone Oak End, and a Birch Seed with a Beech End. So one of the 3 out of the 4 potential options. 8 models is still nothing to sniff at, really.
Nope. Yep.
We're missing something. 2, 4, 6. We're missing something. Sorry, Aaron. I'm feeling
3,
like
4,
there was
5, 6, 7. No, Merry and Pippin. 6 ends Merry and Pippin.
Soz. I like it because it helps the quarter and the break where the hobbits actually come into play here.
And from my understanding, they can remount Treebeard this edition.
Yeah.
Love it.
It's cool. It's cute.
Love
And it's nice. They feel monsters and the way that Ents used to play, I think have just been, helped with how monsters are now feeling in this current edition. And you can't just walk up to an Ent and go, yeah. Anything else to add?
Too much might on a big monster list. That's all I got to add.
Perfect. I'd love to see it. All right, run us through it. Holy shit.
Oh. Hang on. Did someone steal my 800-point Erebor Reclaim list that I've been building? Thorin Oakenshield, Gloin Champion of Erebor, Nori Champion of Erebor, and Ori Champion of Erebor. Iron Hill Warriors out the wazoo, and 1 with the banner, and 3 crossbows. I think it's exactly how this list needs to be built. Those, in my opinion, are the first 4 heroes that you take.
Oh, 100%. They are champions, bro.
Unless you're wanting to spec into the Troll Brute. If you're doing that, slight changes to the list, obviously. But if you're not, this is exactly how you build it. You don't need any more than 3 crossbows. Arguably, you could run this without any shooting and not have a problem. March and charging.
Oh, it's great. I disagree with the no crossbows, and I think it's the fact that you've got strength 4 shooting in your list, and it's a tool to have to potentially threaten. If you don't, put it this way, if you don't have the tool and that one game out of the tournament that you need it, that could potentially be the defining point of maybe getting your goal or not getting your goal. I think if you can take it, it's only 3 models. I don't think it, in the grand scheme of this list, doesn't.
I 100% agree. You definitely take a couple of crossbows. I think in my 800-point list, I've taken 6 crossbows. But arguably, there is an argument to be said that you don't need to take crossbows. But you should probably take them. Honesty bows will win you games.
Yep, absolutely. All right, now we've got the Depths of Moria with a potential skew. We've got the Balrog lined up with a double captain and the Watcher in the water. Now, the Balrog came 30 CanCon at 850 points. However, it was a different list to what this one was. The interesting part of this list here is the Watcher in the water. The reason why we think this list is fantastic is because it's still rocking 38 models, so it's still hitting that nice sweet spot for 800 points. Bear in mind, you are dealing with, I think, D4, D5 models. But D5 on goblins is almost criminal. So
this list has everything. I have a genuine hatred for Depths of Moria at the moment. Like, it is a burning hatred. D5 goblins, yucky. Give them light shields. Why are they D5? Give them light armor or light shields. They should not be D5. The fact that in a lot of scenarios, to do anything to this list, you have to deal with the Balrog. Unless you've got some big heroes or that Balrog is not rolling 6s, good luck. You can't get your secondary points and objectives. And that just makes it even harder to achieve your top end goal of the scenario. There's a lot. They just feel like they get everything. The Balrog's got his set ablaze bullshit. If there's a hero within 3 inches, he just goes, you're set ablaze. Like, what? I understand that why he would get that, but also why does he have that? There's so much. Access to trolls if they want trolls. Out of all the lists from this new edition, Depth of Moria is the one that I despise the most, and stink is yucky. And we have one person in Queensland who's going to run it to every fucking tournament. Anyway, we carry on.
Go hard, Jacob. Go hard. All right, so Depth of Moria, I genuinely believe, is the top dog of the meta right now. Here's why. So we made a mistake previously in saying that the Balrog is D10 and can't be wounded by strength 2 bows. However, we've recently rectified that in the sense that he's D9, so he can be wounded. But with the addition of what monsters can now do in this edition with the barging and the whipping and pulling people in, that gameplay manipulation of what the Balrog can pull off inside of like the thicket of battle is gangbusters. He's automatically setting people ablaze. And then we're going to pair that with the Watcher in the water. In the niche scenario that you have a water feature on the battlefield, on a 2+, you can use the brutal power attack to drag to the depths. On a 2+, if a wound is unsaved in any way, the whole model will be instantly killed and dragged down to the depths. That is not limited to a Mormac. So when we say that the Depths of Moria have everything, we mean they have an answer to literally any fucking army in this game.
Yeah, the Depth of Moria is the list at the moment in my mind of just how powerful it is. The one example that I have given Jay previously is playing Reconnoiter against the Balrog in Depth of Moria. The Balrog was rolling 6s every combat, which is very unheard of, but it happens. And I went, cool, I'm going to break the army. Oh, I can't. I need to do 5 wounds to the Balrog. Oh, I'll get leader wounds. Oh, can't do that either. You know, they've got everything.
Yeah, and the fact they're still dominant 10.
Yes.
Yeah, totally can, because it's my fucking list. We've got Bog on Warg, He's actually on a werewolf.
Yeah,
And then
it's
I've got
sexy.
the Goblin Mercenary Captain to deep strike in. Then I've got another Orc Captain with drum roll, Trollbrute single drop. I'm rocking a couple of Berserkers. I've got double Warbats here, and I've got a gun line, like a spear shield line, I should say, of about 9 wide Gundabad. I don't get shield wall. I don't get fight 5 Berserkers, but I do get potential feel no pain across the army for my, super Gundabad things. And I actually get a War Beast, which I think is a bit of an underestimated or forgotten thing, because we all haven't really played the Troll Brute enough, and I feel like, hey, it's a cool model. I spent a lot of time painting it, and it can potentially just catch my opponent off guard, maybe. Do I think this list is the best thing by far? No, and it's really hard to write a Gundabad list at the moment because the points, far out, they get chewed up so quickly. 10 points a model for a bloody Orc.
What do they fight for? Strength 4?
Fight 4, strength 4. Cute, nice. But my God, I don't know, man. It's really hard. It's just...
Yeah, I genuinely thought that you were going to have that second troll on this list, the Gundabad troll.
You know why I didn't? My model count drops to 28.
Ooh.
28, 30. And I'm like, I can't do it. It's too little for what they could offer.
Yeah, and especially
the alternative is swapping the troll out.
No. The thing is, I still don't know if the math works out. Like, the game's going to have to be played for a little bit longer, but the previous edition, 800 points average model count was 40 models. 36 is a good number if we're still applying that maths. That 28... Yeah. So I definitely understand the change on that. The Troll Brute, if you can get that into combat and you can make it do its thing, awesome. But if you go up against a boatload of shooting, my lord, you're going to have to hide that thing. Yep. I've got 18 bows in my list, and I know that every single shot that will be going at that. I don't care if there's 5 in the ways.
And see, that right there, that mentality is exactly what I'm banking on. I don't really care if I give away my tactics, because honestly, I'm here to try and challenge myself to play shit armies and do well with it. And this is part of it. I would like for you to be focused so heavily, because if the Troll Brute runs through your line, it's 2 strength 10 hits every single time. Now, that will clear a warband if you roll well. Moderately, yes. Yeah? Unless you're Sean and you roll double fucking ones on the first time ever using the goddamn model. But hey, you know what? Things were happened.
All right, Saruman, Uruk-hai captain, and a second Uruk-hai captain. Grima is in there. You've got a smattering of crossbows, pikes, and shield Uruk-hai warriors, and then we've got 14 berserkers. So this is the Muster of Isengard list that we have spoken about before in previous videos, where probably one of the best lists in the game.
Holy shit, it's still got 40 models, man. I really don't think you need to spend a whole lot of time talking about it.
Nope.
People know it by now. If you haven't, go watch a YouTube video from an SBG content creator, and they've spoken about it. It's good. It's good.
Very good. Nerds.
All right. Then we've got Arathorn on stand. So we've got Arathorn, who'll be the leader. He will be accompanied by 8 Rangers of the North, 5 of them with spear. And then, holy shit, is that 20 more Rangers? Jesus Christ on the cracker. So 29 models in total, 28 of them are Rangers of the North.
It's stinky. Yeah.
I don't know what to say.
This will shoot you
it
off the
sucks
board.
that they're fight 4.
But
next.
No, but the thing is, you don't give a shit if you spend, except for Arathorn, you don't give a shit if you spend every single point of might before combat hits with your rangers to kill models. Because that's what, 28 dead models?
That's insane. I'm going to move on to something a bit more fun, like Birda's Horde. We've got Birda with 2 hill trolls here. We've got double orc captains, and notably they've each got a hill troll. So we've got 4 hill trolls here, a shitload of orcs, and we've got 9 Warg Riders here. It's pretty cool. I like it a lot. 38 models, so we're hitting that average mark again. We've still got the deep striking warband. We spoke about it before. I really like this. 9 Warg Riders on top of the mass of trolls that are a bit more spread out in this list. That's scary, man. I love hill trolls with such a passion. They are so good. I'm so happy that Queensland is getting on the hill troll bandwagon because they are brilliant. They are perfectly pointed.
Is it Hill Troll Intelligence? That's re-rolls for the dual roll or some shit?
Yeah, so they automatically get a free re-roll. And then Birder, I think, procs a banner as well. So they're rocking the double re-roll, man. It's so good. Like I said, points-wise, they are perfect. I genuinely, if Ogre's got something like this, I'd run 9 of them. Anyway, take it away, man.
Ooh, Stinky Arnor. Who's running Stinky Arnor? Arvidui, Aranath, interesting choice. Argadir and Melbeth the Seer. A shit ton of Warriors of Arnor, a couple of Knights of Arnor, and a couple of Rangers. Traditional Arnor. There's nothing I'm not trying to shit talk the list, obviously, but it is how you play Arnor. Aranath is an interesting choice in my mind. I feel like I would choose a captain over Aranath.
Really? I love the second striker and his expert shot.
It's
2 shots, another striker.
He's got sharpshooter as well, doesn't he?
Yeah, man, he's good. He's like a mini Howdy. We've seen Arnor to death, both this edition and last edition. 47 models, 800 points, D6, fight 4, 8 your hearts out.
You just get so much value out of those captains of Arnor.
You
could nearly take 2 of them for Aranath.
Fair, I get it. Fight 5, D7, strength 4, big.
4 points of might. You lose a couple of models.
Do you take Targ? Do you take 2 chieftains? Who fucking knows?
Do you take Aranath? Do you take 2 chieftains?
Jesus Christ. All right, now we've gone on to something I think is pretty cool and a similar list to what we wrote on the channel. So
I didn't realize he was coming.
Kingdom of Rohan. We have Théoden with Snowmane, Aemir with 5 foot, Gamling with Jay the horse, Theodred with Brago. The fact that Gamling doesn't have a named horse hurts my bloody heart. And then we have a shitload of Royal Guard. I think we've got the double banner in here as well.
Yeah.
No.
No, single. It's just
Gamling.
It's just Gamling.
The Gamling is a hot target for those banner VPs, and then we've got a heap of bows. So 25 models for an all-mounted Kingdom of Rohan list. It's not Riders of Théoden. That's the biggest thing here. Now, it's not Riders of Théoden. It's got to be careful.
I'm like, this is Matt's list, isn't it?
Yes.
Just cool. So, versing Matt the other night, he actually took away all of his throwing spears to add in another rider, and immediately regretted it. So I'm glad that he's gone for this instead, because the throwing weapons the other night would have decimated me. So they're just so good. So well done.
Take it away.
Ooh, Last Alliance. Let's go. El Rondo, Isildur with the ring, and a Rivendell captain with shield. Not on horse. Can you take horses in this? I don't know. I haven't looked into it.
I think he can.
A boatload of Rivendell warriors with a variety of war gear, 1 banner up in there, and then you've got 10 warriors of Numenor with shield or shield and spear. This is good, man. I think this is a very strong list, especially with the Wall of Steel?
Whirl of Steel.
Whirl of Steel. The Last Alliance, I want to focus a bit more on Whirl of Steels, because I think it is potentially touching on game breaking. A lot of people have said that it is probably the most powerful special rule running around in this game. I'm just going to read the whole thing out for anyone who doesn't know. Whenever a friendly Rivendell infantry model that is not engaged in combat is charged, they may roll a d6. On a natural 6, that model that charged them immediately suffers a wound. If the model was a cavalry model, roll a further d6. On a 1, 2, 3, it will be the mount that suffers the wound. On a 4+, the rider will suffer the wound. This is considered an active ability. This is crazy good. This is you sitting there with as many Rivendell warriors as you can fit in. You still want to take some Numenorians, of course, but you just put your Rivendell warriors, and you don't care if your opponent wins priority. Unless you need to move your stuff around, you go, cool, I'm sitting in this choke point, charge me. If you don't charge me, I've got some elf shooting. I'll hit you with elf shooting. It's what Dale did in the previous edition, that psychological effect on your opponent of whether it's worth them charging you or not. Dale got +1 to wound if the Knights of Dale were charged. This one, it's just on the roll of a 6, you kill stuff. If you luck out and you roll multiple 6s, which I've heard stories of from Tyler.
Yuck.
Yeah, in a turn or two, you can demolish an army.
Potentially.
Yeah.
Again, it has that threat factor. It's got that mind manipulation, those mental games that we always, talk about. For that to be, let's say you take the skew list of, say, Azog's Hunters, all mounted, minuscule shooting. I think it's great. Where you can't go blink off and you have to get in on the charge. The fact that you can just lose your horse for fun and you're charging 2, there's 2d6 going into you. Jesus Christ.
It's phenomenal.
Shit.
Yeah.
You can't do anything about it.
Yeah, that's it. And the thing is, like, you might... I said that this is probably one of the strongest special rules in the game, and it's not... If you look at it as just the special rule itself, I'm wrong in that situation. But then you bring in, as Jay mentioned before, that psychological factor. That's what brings it up from being a very good special rule to upper echelons of special rules in this game.
I genuinely think this is how you run this list. It sucks that you can't... my brain wants to take Elendil and Gil-galad. The one thing I think this list is missing is potentially swapping Elrond foresight points for Fight 6 Kingsguard. Fight 6 Elves is money. Yes. That's the only reason why I would argue taking Gil-galad over Elrond. But that's a very minor thing.
Yeah, I will say the only reason that I am not ever running this list is because we don't have new Rivendell or Numenor sculpts. Otherwise, I would kill to run this.
The Isildur not being mounted in this list. There's one mounted hitter, and I think it's Isildur. It is Isildur, right? Take him on. Drop down to 38 models, 30 models, 39 models or whatever, and take them on the horse.
I think it's worth it. You still take the ring because it's free.
Yeah.
And if you are desperate in the game or he gets shot off his horse, then you can still use the ring.
Yeah.
No problem.
Yep. It's a tool.
Yeah.
It's a tool in your bloody back pocket, man.
If you're leaving the tool at home because you don't know how to use it, and Reclamation of Skiliath is here with 44 models. We've got Boromir, Captain of the White Tower, with horse, shield, and banner of Minas Tirith. Beautiful. Faramir, Captain of Gondor, Major, Captain of Ithilien. Tin cans out the wazoo. Rangers of Gondor out the... Oh my god, that's pretty good. And then of Skiliath veterans. Yeah, I don't actually know what the Skiliath veterans do these days. What are they all
No idea, man. You're the Minas Tirith guy.
Yeah, I never ran off Skiliath vets because they were. But yeah, no, I think this is solid. I just want to get the book out, sorry, because I do actually want to have a look at what this list is all about.
That's fair.
Quite intrigued.
One thing I want to know from you, Sean, is last edition you were hell-bent on the fact that Boromir had to be on foot and a horse was the trap. Don't take him, rah, rah. You even went on overseas onto Glom's Gamers and argued your case as to why Boromir had to be on foot.
And I convinced
But back
him.
here at MGG, we firmly believe, the rest of us, apart from Sean, believe that Boromir had to be mounted to get the maximum hand grenade potential. Have you swung your vote, young man?
I haven't completely swung, but
It's getting there. It's getting there.
On the fact that in this list, you don't have another mounted hero, I would happily say Boromir is good on horse. In the previous edition, a big reason why I didn't put Boromir onto a horse was because I had Hurin on horse. He does an equally as good job, and the way that list ran was you sit in the shield wall and you go, cool, come to me, My 2 little shitter fight for 3 might heroes are going to strike up against your big boys. That too. If you don't strike up, cool. I'm probably going to win the combat and I might get some wounds. If you do strike up, you're wasting might. Okay, cool. You've run out of might with Thranduil, using him for example. Cool. Here's 6 might fight 7 Boromir, who's been sitting in the back lines the entire game, and just giving fight 4 to all my troops. Deal with him. Oh, you can't because I just need to roll a 1 on a strike and I'm fight 8? Cool. Oh, you've been trapped? Alright, cool. 6 dice on Boromir. I need to use 3 points of might to do like 2 wounds or whatever. Okay, cool. Bye, Thranduil. And that's why I didn't take it, because I didn't want to spend 10 points on a horse that was potentially going to get shot out relatively early on. That's it. That's an extra Fountain Court guard for me. Mate.
There's a molehill that Sean's died on, and I'm purely stoking the fire, boys. I'm purely stoking the fire. And girls.
Come get my fucking first place Minister of Trophies out of the cabinet.
Go on.
They were all with foot Boromir. So, actually, I lie. One of them was with mounted Boromir. We carry on.
Oh my god, this is Nick's list. He's running Lothlorien with the Lady of Light and her mirror. We've got Pajama Celeborn and Haldir with cloak, heavy armor, and bow. So
anyone who says this is fucking shit is wrong. This is so good.
Let's have a look at it. You've got 39 models. You've got your 2 good uns. Now, I want to put it out there now in the sense of if you look at this list funny, it will blow over and die. Right? It's still fight 5. The mirror replenishes all fate, irrespective. Right? So you have to still commit and put the dice into auto-killing Celeborn or Haldir to confirm that kill and have the mirror do nothing. Otherwise, it's like nothing bloody will happen, because she's going to use her special magic power, replenish up one of their wound points, if that's still a thing. I'm talking at the top of my head here. And then the mirror is going to just boost up all the fate points again, whilst you are peppering them with... Look, to be fair, Nick hasn't gone too hard on the bows here, but if you wanted to do it, shout out to my Samsung Brandon on Discord. You can take this with a complete Pajama Wood Elf army and throwing weapons then out the wazoo.
Yep, and
it's good.
The army list, like the army itself, the bonuses aren't that amazing. Your Elven. If you're concealed because of an Elven Cloak, you reroll 1s to hit with shooting. Sure, that's kind of cool. It's whatever. You still get your resistance to magic, which is big. But Lothlorien has kind of turned into a bit more of a killy army. Not in a large sense, but Battle Wisdom on Celeborn, +1 to wound within 3 of him.
Yeah.
Enchanted Blades. We can't forget Writhing Vines as well, that new like anti-cav go fuck yourself. Like very, very good. What's this other one here that I'm reading? For a point of model, reroll wounds of a natural 1. I don't think you take that, but it's still
let's have a look. Let's talk about Elves Previous Edition and then we'll move on. Elves Previous Edition, I played a bit of Lothlorien, honestly, with Arnor. I souped the hell out of him. But they didn't kill because they were stuck at strength 3. And I wish if I could have killed shit on 5 because I won a lot of fights. Yes, it doesn't have the fight 6 in here. But if I could be killing shit on 5s with a potential reroll of 1, bro. And the amount of spears that cannot take shields in this edition, now wounding them potentially on 4s, the Lothlorien, it cannot be understated. This list will kill you a lot more surprisingly, but I still think it'll get killed back. This one, not so much, because you've got a lot of D6 in here.
Also, they still have hand and half blades, and the new additions two-handing rules is phenomenal. If you can two-hand, you do it. So potential +2 to wound within 3 of Caliborn. You can have a
Yucky,
tiny
yucky.
death ball.
Yep.
So it's very good, especially with double casters as well. You can't underestimate double casters.
Yep. Totally good, man. All right, moving on. Sean, take it away, man.
What the fuck is it? Oh, is this Merkle Rangers?
Assault and Raven.
Reese,
Oh,
you've
no.
done it. Cool. Legolas, Prince of Mirkwood, Elven Cloak, Mirkwood Rangers. Tariel with bow, Mirkwood Rangers. Thorin Oakenshield with the Oakenshield, and Gloinder Dwarf, yoked. Very, very good. 32 models. It's so many. What's that? 28 Mirkwood Rangers.
No, bro. So that is what we're talking. 28. Tariel
28.
gets 1 or 2 shots. So let's
30.
talk 20, 29, potentially 32 shots.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
This is the kind of list that you'll shoot your opponent off the board. If your shooting doesn't do well, you could struggle a little bit once combat gets in. But you now have dwarves allowed in this list, and they are going to help out immensely.
Oh, Thorin, Gloin, Tariel, and Legolas. Man, Tariel I think is one of the biggest winners of this edition. Full stop. Thorin, cute. Gloin, the man he should be.
He is forced to. Oh, is he forced to two-hand in this?
Don't know, don't care. Don't play meta.
They're not the champions of Erebor. They're just Thorin's company ones. So they're not
I
D8.
think that's a yes then.
They're like D5 or something. So potential, if they whiff, it's not looking super good. But either way, just having those 2 dwarves, a boatload of might, like this is going to do some. This is going to do some.
This
work.
honestly, for the minds of the depth of Moria list we're looking before, like with the amount of bow shots that this and the Dunedain are packing, if Balrog runs into this, like I don't really care that your army will be dead by the time the Balrog gets to you.
Yeah. Now, the question is, can Strength 2 wound the Balrog?
Of course it can.
Can it? What defense is Balrog? Where's my
10 or some shit. Don't know. Rather than sit here and just look at Sean trying to fumble his way through.
Wait.
All right.
Strength 2 D10, you can't wound it with bows. This can wound the Balrog with bows. So Dunedain can't wound him, but that's fine. This can, if you want to just shoot at the Balrog. Anyway, we carry on.
Yeah, shit. Okay, that's a big revelation for me there.
Yeah, isn't it?
Here's my bread and butter, man.
You're
Holy
all yours,
shit.
brother.
Host of the Witch King, 38 models. The Witch King with a Morgul Blade and Horse. Respect the Morgul Blade play. I think it's clutch. Aldrak,
The boy.
Lord of the Chads. Naughty Warrior of Khandun with the banner. Sick model, but brother, save the fucking point to put it on a orc.
Take an orc.
Shadow of Rita, love it. Fantastic model. Shade and Barrow-White, still rocking 38 models. We've got double werewolves in here. We've got 2 specters, a couple of Wargroves with throwing weapons. Really, though, a smattering of orcs. And I say that very lightly, a smattering of orcs.
Yep.
You're capping at D5 and you need your heroes to go off and go off quickly. I personally don't take the Barrow-White and I just put it into more orcs. I like to try and go a bit heavier on the model size here. But look, this list has got, Jesus Christ, it has some serious killing potential. Fight 6 or 7 Witch King?
I could not tell you.
I think it's fight.
This is your realm. It's got.
Yeah.
I could, if it's fight 7, that's
Fight 7 against men. Fight 7 against men, bro.
That's good.
Yeah.
The shade as well, so your orcs are not just going to get shot off the table.
And not to mention, he helps increase the Witch King's casting as well.
That's right, he does it. And what's the Shadow of Rudar do again? Does he?
Shadow of Rudar is a nice, handy, I think, fight 5, D7, 2 attack model that's got some decent casting as well.
Okay, cool.
But he's like, I think he's more of just like a utility Swiss. I mean, I can't sit here and go, this is exactly what the Shadow of Rudar does. Like, I'm not 100% sold on him, but I think for 80 points and what you're paying for him, you don't really leave home with that.
I would like, unless I'm not understanding what he does properly. I'm almost dropping the Shadow Rooter, putting the Barrowite in charge of that warband. If it can take that many models, I'm not sure.
I think it's dropped to a minor hero now.
Okay, that changes it. But if it hasn't, switch them out, take more orcs.
For sure. All right. This is a real list. So I was very lazy when copying and pasting this in. This is the wolf pack of Angmar with 10 wild chieftains.
This is my favorite shit. This is why I play this game.
What the fuck?
This is going to do one of two things each game. This is going to demolish everything it touches, or just get fucked. And I'm there for it. These games are going to be so fast.
Yes. Yeah. Shout out. All right. Take it away.
All right. 40 model Kingdom of Rohan. Oh, going for foot Rohan? Hell yeah. All right. AMR, shield throwing weapon, 5 foot with armor. Theodred with Brago and shield, gambling with royal standard. A boatload of Rohan warriors and a boatload of royal gut. Yeah, it's what's your thoughts on the difference between taking an all-mounted Kingdom of Rohan and taking a all-foot? It's just the fight 3
sucks, kills it. It really, really hurts it, which is why I typically lean towards skewing it. But don't forget, you've got Royal Guard here, so you do have fight 4 D6 from memory. However, there's no Theodred, right? Mm-hmm. You've got Aemir, Theodred, who arguably are hand grenade heroes, with the standard. So the standard's going to be getting a bit more use here on saving a bit of might potentially. You might save 2 throughout a game. Yeah, I don't know. This is tough. You need to kite, hope to do a bit of damage, wrap, play smart, and gain momentum really quickly with Aemir and Theodred, whilst potentially hoping to just cock block their heroes to counter your heroes. It's tough. It's really hard. Yeah. Rohan, like the way we want to play it, like this, it's tough. Jesus, it's tough.
This doesn't really take advantage of army bonuses, does it?
Not really. I think it's just reroll 1s to wound, and then potentially on the charges an extra strength. There could be something else that I'm missing. Oh, Horse Lord
on the heroes,
5+ on the heroes. So it does incentivize you to take a bit of like a Rise of Thaden esque vibe, but I don't know, man. It's tough. At the same token too, this is you can, with the battle box that you got, plus a bit of extra,
very easily get into it. Yeah,
you can run it in a heartbeat. And I respect
and
it.
Look, I could see this just shield walling up and watching Theodred and Aemir mow down everything they touch as well. So who knows? This might do really, really well.
Just hold your cards close to your chest is all I'm going to say with this list. Don't go blowing your load with Aemir and Theodred, because they will disappoint you quicker than you can say, Master of Isengard. So a list that I think is really cool is the Return of the King with Strider, King of the Dead, Gimli, and Legolas. Personally, I'd fuck the dwarf off and try to take more boys.
Yep,
but
100%.
We're looking at 23 models when we're asking for 4. One of the biggest losses that this list took over the new edition was the fact that the King of the Dead doesn't have his Harbinger of Evil. Why that's important was because you would wound on courage. You don't do it anymore, right? Yes, you're moving 8 inches. Yes, you have Spectral Walk. Yes, you're now fight for D8. But Strength 3. Fuck. You know what I mean? Like, just I don't know. I really make this a really elite army or a horde out army to, mimic what happened on the Battle of Pelennor. You know what I mean? Like, give it that. Oh my God, it's spooky dead boys. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I really want to see this just spamming out Army of the Dead models. You've still got a decent amount, heroes.
Get rid of Gimli, and take 4 Riders of the Dead.
Yeah, I wouldn't even do that, man. I would just try.
I would just go in.
I'm not saying I would. You're moving 8 inches over anything.
Oh, they're 8. That's right. Yeah, don't worry about Riders of the Dead.
You know what I mean? Like,
off.
they're cute. Maybe take 1 for the odd scenario. But like, I'd be maxing out as many dudes as you possibly can. That's just my 2 cents.
8 inches.
Oh, sure.
Spectral Walk
Run
is so good.
Run us through this one.
It's my baby. Usurpers of Edoras. You're taking Frecker, you're taking Wolf, you're taking Targ, maybe, and you're taking Lord Thorn. 10 Rohan traders. Your 2 banners fit beautifully into there. Hill Tribesmen out the wazoo. Max bows is the important one, so I've got 18 bows there and 10 throwing weapons. The ranged ability on this list, if you roll well, not what happened anyway, phenomenal. You could very easily get 3 turns of shooting with this list, and Hill Tribesmen hit on 4+ for some reason. Stinky, and then obviously Rohan traders with throwing spear as well. I love this list. I love Usurpers of Edoras, but it in my mind it is so close to being a good list. It's just missing just a couple of things. Targ, for example, he could have one extra, like, give him either 1 extra attack or 1 extra might. Just one of those 2 things really steps him up in this list and gives this list an extra bit of proper killing power. The 6-up save is cute, but it doesn't really do much. +1 to wound heroes is phenomenal. The issue is this list falls apart when you start versing big heroes.
Yes.
And so you have to win the fight. So you're basically sitting there praying for botched rolls from your opponent. You've got a single striker in this list. General Targ has the potential to strike up, but who's striking up against Targ? Probably fucking no one, because there's only 5/5. It's that there's just a few things that I feel like they could give this list to really not make it overpowered, but just push it into, like, the mid-range of lists. But at the end of the day, a lot of fun. Crabane is so good this edition. Stupidly good this edition.
Yep.
Yeah, look, man, I love it, and I wanna win tournaments with this list. I wanna do well with it, and I think the potential is there.
Look, the fact that they are nearly a good army list is why they're on my block to be played this year. So I need to just wait for all the scale heads to be printed.
I do want to say, do you know what's really, really stinky about this list is when you go to a table to verse your opponent and you start talking about what each other's special rules are, and they list off a book, an entire book. I get +1 to wound men. I get this. And they just go and go and go. And then they go, oh, what does your list do, Sean? You go, I get 6-up saves on Dunland. Oh, Wolf and General Targ get 6-up saves? No, just my troops and my chieftains. And I get +1 to wound heroes. And fight for within 6 inches of a couple of dudes. I'm like, ugh. And that does stink. That does stink when everyone feels like they're getting everything, and you've just been given stuff that's good. But as I said, just push it up a bit.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've changed my mindset. Like, those are the armies that I'm like, you have a place, you have a home with me. We will do this. We will show them. They are my favorite.
They are my favorite list to run.
Yeah.
And so. And like I did that in previous edition, not all the time, but a lot of the time I played those lists that were just below being like a mid-tier list. And this is, I love it. It's my favorite. It's probably my best painted army as well, which is ridiculous.
Here's something that I'm not going to swear. Here's something that bucks my heart and just pummels me to the ground like there's no tomorrow. It's double Murmac. So, Jesus Christ. Murmac War Leader with a Murmac of Harad with a Beastmaster repelling lines. We're rocking 20 models in total. So to break them, you need to kill 10. Quarter of them is 5. Far out. 8 bows with poison.
We'll say.
That's the Murmac. Like, here's the cute part. The Murmac, that's his stampede. Boom, 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 boom. Your whole army's dead. Then all of a sudden you go, aha! Now you can only move straight because I don't equal or beat your strength, blah, blah, blah. You now have to move forward. Repelling line. Like, you can... shit.
This, the only thing that this list will suffer with is against mass shooting. You take out the war leader and the dude, the beast master or whatever, suddenly the Murmacs only fight 4. And you just walk your fight 5 hero in and go, cool, let's rock and roll. Heroic strength, this edition against Murmacs, I was telling you earlier, Frecker doing 5 or 6 wounds to a Murmac because he heroic strength 3 turns in a row. It's very, very good. But the caveat with that is, if they win priority.
So, there's a couple of things we need to talk about here, which is why I think we're going to get like a bit of a toolbox to verse War Beast. I think we're going to do this in a later episode because honestly, if you haven't versed War Beast, you need to rethink your whole game. I cannot state that, like emphasize that anymore. Rethink your whole game. Okay? If it sees the prize and you want to run to the middle, get the fuck out of there. Or don't run to the middle and play a different game. Right?
Yeah.
Until you've met your win condition, which is either tame the War Beast or kill the War Beast. Make up your mind, decide how you're going to do it, and get it done. The War Beast, sorry, I'll just finish this point before I forget. The War Beast stampeding in their movement phase. So you go ahead and tag them with one dude. Last edition, sweet. This edition, if you don't beat their strength, they will still stampede and trample through. However, it has to be in a dead straight line. You can use that to your advantage, which means they won't get to pivot, they won't get to do their shenanigans. It's a dead straight line. So it's like you put one dude in this way, the War Beast is facing this way, the rest of your army are back here. Doesn't matter. But let's say you go ahead and you put a couple of dudes in because you don't want the War Beast to stampede. The one with the repelling lines can come through and pick dudes off, which means now the strength is not equal, is not higher than the War Beast, and that War Beast can still stampede ahead. It's tricky.
Yeah. The repelling lines is very good. Does the Murmac War Leader, does that get repelling lines?
No, but it does get all the shit from last edition, man.
Yeah. So that will ignore potential heroic, or it only ignores potentially one heroic move.
Yes. On a 4+.
Yeah. So you could call a second one and they can't ignore that. So that's pretty cool. Yeah, what I was going to say and was touching on where you said you've got to change your game plan. Jack from New South Wales runs Murmacs and he has figured out every intricate detail of how to verse Murmacs and how to use Murmacs. And he has said, as a Murmac player, you need to choose what you're doing at the beginning of the game. And you do not deviate from that path. And that's also how you beat Murmacs. You choose what you're going to do, whether that be run away and ignore, or just go and kill the Murmac. As soon as you deviate from one of those paths, so if you choose to kill Murmac, and you halfway through the game go, all right, I'm going to start ignoring, now you've lost the game.
Yep.
Pick what you're going to do and throw everything at it.
Yep.
So yeah.
Couldn't agree more. Scary list.
Carry on.
Oh my god, another Master of Isengard.
Next.
Yeah, it pretty much is rocking the same thing. We're looking at what? Only 3 Berserkers? It feels like almost the copy and
I was going to say this feels very,
one.
very, very similar to one of the first lists we looked at. So,
yeah. Last one, I think, is Thranduil's Pull. We've got Thranduil on his elk with the potential 1 strength for impact hit. rocking with Legolas and Tariel. We've got 4 Mirkwood Elf Knights who are wooden creature and strength fight 6. So good. We've got the Glaives, we've got the Palace Guard, 2, sorry, I shouldn't exacerbate that, just enough to be annoying, and a decent amount of shots. This is still terrifying, honestly. Thranduil, I think, has had a really, I wouldn't say a massive upgrade, but definitely a decent grade, let's call it. He can only take the Great Elk and heavy armor now. He's got Blade Lord, and he also has Fury of the Elven King, which is like a pseudo, I suppose, sidestep for the lack of the blades that he has. He's still rocking 3 attacks with Blade Lord, so he's still getting heaps of attacks that are now just embedded in his profile. The Great Elk has had a decent chat in the stand of. It's got 2 wounds, and it's got a singular strength 4 hit when it goes and charges in, which is potentially cute in the sense if you roll a 6, you kill a model, you can keep on going.
Don't rely on it.
Yeah, don't talk to me Dragon Fire. At the beginning of his activation, Thranduil can spend a will point. If he does, at the end of the turn, Thranduil has the Terror special rule. Additionally, if Thranduil has the infantry keyword, when he uses this special rule, then each enemy model within 3 inches of him that is not engaged in combat must take a courage test. This man gains Instill Fear. Why this is a really powerful combo is because you as a Horse of Thranduil player want to death ball up. You want to be in your Thranduil buffs, you want to be getting the army bonuses. For Thranduil to then turn around and go bang for a will point and do an Instill Fear to potentially move back a 60 plus model army for you to then get into a hero, massive, bro. It's huge.
Breaking up lines in this game, especially shield wall lines, which we're seeing a lot of with Minas Tirith and now Isengard and Iron Hills, obviously. If you can just move a couple of them out with this pseudo Instill Fear, it's looking very good.
Especially on a turn that is where you have, they have priority, so they've moved. They might not have engaged your line, or they've left like a little bit of a gap, potentially made a movement error. You can capitalize on it and then exacerbate that error by moving their models. Go in for free. Bro, holy crap. Yeah, what do you reckon, Sean?
I'm just looking at the 10 dudes with glaives and going, oh, cool, double my attacks. I think Thranduil's Halls is very, very good this edition. It was very good last edition, but it's phenomenal. Do you still get the models? 39 models at 800? Very, very nice. Does Thranduil still have the 3-inch +1 to wound? Cool.
Yeah, and a fight value, I think, as well, man.
Yeah, chuck the glaives in, 2 attack. See you later, son. Very, very good.
Alrighty, guys, thank you so much for listening and checking in with the list review. We're pretty excited. As Queenslanders, this is a Queensland event, and we'd love to put a spotlight on the meta here. Personally, I feel like there is a clear meta, and it's very much tin cans. And I'm just going to say that it's a general term with Isengard. Would you agree?
Yeah, 100%. With a smattering of a couple of monsters. Monsters have come back huge in this edition, which I'm a huge, huge fan of. Very big. But anyway,
let us know what you think of this new style of list review. If you love it, if you hate it, I want to hear it all. And if you really feel passionate about it, get on Discord and have a chat with one of us about what we think we could do better. Please don't forget to head on over to Bard's Table and Wargaming. Shout out for sponsoring us. Links will be in the description below. Otherwise,
leave a comment, like, subscribe, call to action, all that fun stuff. Help us out.
From me, from Sean, to you. Good night.
Love you.